Bhagavatam, the Supreme Personality Godhead, avasthitam, situated, apashyat, he saw, sarvabhutani, all living beings, Bhagavati, in the Supreme Personality Godhead, api, moreover, cha, and atmani, on the Super Soul. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. He began to see the Supreme Personality Godhead is seated in everyone's heart, and that everyone is existing on him, because he is the Super Soul of everyone. Purport. That everyone is existing on the Supreme Personality Godhead does not mean that everyone is also Godhead. This is also explained in Bhagavad Gita. Everything is resting on him, the Supreme Lord. But that does not mean that the Supreme Lord is also everywhere. This mysterious position has to be understood by highly advanced devotee. There are three kinds of devotee: the neophyte devotee, the intermediate devotee, and the advanced devotee. Neophyte devotee does not understand the techniques of devotional science, but simply offer devotional service to the deity in the temple. The intermediate devotee understands the God, who is God, who is a devotee, who is a non-devotee, and who is innocent, and he deals with such persons differently. But a person who sees the Lord is sitting as Paramatma in everyone's heart, and that everything is depending on or existing on the transcendental energy of the Supreme Lord, is the highest devotional position. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chachunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangham Langhayate Girim Yat Krupatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Dhinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Thapitam Nena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahegana Raghunatanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahegana Lalita Sri Vishakanitam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Sarasati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarne Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakti Rupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakhyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktanda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Atmanam sarvabhuteshu bhagavantam avasthitam apasya sarvabhutani bhagavatyapi chatmani. This is the highest level of the yoga siddhi. Devotee, when he comes to the platform of the pure devotional service, first class Uttama Adhikari, first class devotee, he doesn't see the body but see the presence of the super soul and soul in each and every living entity. Means he is completely devoid of the bodily consciousness. He is on the soul proper. In the yoga, that is the highest requirement. Any spiritual process, whether it's bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, unless one reaches that position, he cannot be delivered. Why? Because other than that position, you are in the bodily consciousness. When the completely purified senses are there, then he will transcend this mode of goodness, then transcend the bodily consciousness, he will be sitting on the soul proper. Srila Prabhupada, Atma Bhuta Sthiti, Srila Prabhupada used the word soul proper. At that time, it doesn't differentiate. That's why Srila Prabhupada says that pure devotee sees the presence of the Lord. It doesn't differentiate, but for preaching, one has to come down to the Madhyamadhikari, intermediate devotee. In the Uttamadhikari, you can't preach because I see God in you, super soul and soul, who is part and parcel of the Lord. Each every living entity, whether human being or reptile, you see the presence of the Lord everywhere. So for him, everybody is a highly elevated living entity. So he cannot preach. Prabhupada says that, so Uttama Adhikari has to come down to the Madhyama Adhikari. Unless you differentiate with living entity, you can't preach. You have to tell them, you chastise them. Srila Prabhupada, you can see in the London lecture how he chastised people. So, but in the highest level, in the yogis, they have nothing to do preaching. They want their own self-deliverance from this material existence. So they are in alone and meditating upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At that stage, when they come to the level, they find everything is nothing but Krishna. That is in fact true also. As in the Chatushloki Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna says to Brahma, the first verse says that before the creation I was alone, I created. After the entire annihilation of creation, I am alone. If you are alone, how did you bring this so many living entities? How did you create it? So, the third and fourth verse, third verse, Chatushloki Bhagavatam, Lord says that anything in relation to me is the fact. Anything in not relation to me is the illusion. Means a living entity who relates everything in the material existence in relation to the Supreme Lord, then it is not a Maya. Because Lord's energy, external energy, also eternal energy of the Lord. After the annihilation of the universe, that eternal energy is still with the Supreme Lord. So, but if it is not in relation to the Supreme Lord, then it is an illusion because temporary. So, though it is existing, it is not existing. So, the pure devotee or a yogi who comes to that level of the trance, when he trans the yogic language, when he transcends the Agya Chakra which is in between these eyebrows, then he goes to the trance that he raises his life energy, pranavayu, to the Sahasra, Srila Prabhupada said, Brahmarandra, this one. Okay? Then at that position only one can be in the Samadhi trance. Okay? So at that position, you see the Supreme Lord, depending upon the type, what type of yoga they are doing, the impersonalists, you see the Brahman effulgence, they feel happy there. The yogi who meditate upon the 400 form of the Lord, he was able to see the Lord. And devotees, they see the presence of Radha Krishna. Depending upon the meditation of the devotee, he will visualize the Supreme Personality Godhead. Like Lord Shiva all the time is seeing the beautiful form of the Lord, and he forgets the time. Thousands of years it takes to open his eyes. Till that time, Bhagavati Parvati just sitting with folded hands. Jai Sri Sri Radha Radhanath ki jai. Sri Giridhardhan ki jai. Gaurahar ki jai. So yogis will be in the trance and seeing the beautiful time form of the Lord, they forget the time even. Thousands of years gone, but they won't open the eyes. Because when they come to that level, they don't need anything material. They are completely transcended the bodily consciousness. In Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter, what they say? Annamaya kosha, jnanamanda kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, finally anandamaya kosha. Fifth one. So once we need the daily required body maintenance, food, water, up to the annamaya kosha. After that you don't need anything. One can survive with the breath of the air only. Then after that, they will stop in the air also. Breathe once and they can stay for thousands of years. So that is how the lifespan of the yogis increase. Our life is depending upon the number of breaths we take it. I gave sometime example. The electric bulbs, we buy it. What is the duration of, standard duration of life? The company, they give 1,000 hours. Okay. Some good quality, they give 10,000. Maximum 10,000, not more than that. Average is 10,000, 1,000 hours. Now it is up to you, 1,000 hours. You keep the light on 24 hours. How many months it go? Maybe 3-4 months, is it? And it is up to you. You can keep 10 hours a day. You can increase the lifespan of the bulb, globe for the 10 times. If you only 1 hour a day, it can further increase. In the same way, the breathing process also depending upon how many times you breathe, our lifespan increase or decreases. The yogis, they decrease the breathing process. Kumbha, holding the breath, they will increase. If they breathe 1 minute, they hold for the breath for maybe 10 minutes, and for like Dhruva Maharaj stopped for 2 months. And sages stop for the years together. Many years before, in 60s or 70s, there was some experiment going on in Kerala about this yoga. So they went to Himalaya also, but finally the experiment center was in Kerala. They found that the yogi, when in the meditate completely in the trance, they are unable to find the pulse reading completely. Very weak. After getting a very fine instrument, they said that, it was in the newspaper. They found that breath is so, pulse rating is so slow that it is very difficult for a common man to feel presence of the breathing. So that is how the sages increase. So at that time they don't need it. If you are breathing, it is obstacles for the trance. So that's why they stop the breathing and go to the, even the energy you get in the, when you stop the breathing. If you want to breathe, hit someone, what you do? Vincent, you want to punch somebody, what you want to do? You do it breathing, holding, or breathing, or what you do? Release the breath or hold the breath? You never beat anyone, it looks like. You have to hold. If you release, your energy gone. Automatically, without anybody instruction, automatically you hold. Then only energy is there. That's why the yogis breathe in and hold it for long duration. That is their energy. Okay. So Karda Maharshi, being a mystic yogi, came to that level. In the Ishopanishad also, he was able to see Atmanam Sarvabhutesh. He was able to see the presence of the super soul, each and every living entity. Ishopanishad 6th and 7th verse speaks of the same. Yastu sarvani bhutani anyatmani anupashyati sarvabhuteshu atmanam tato na vijugupsate. Who systematically sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, who sees all living entity as his parts and parcels, and who sees the Supreme Lord within everything, and never hates anything or any being. This highest stage. And seventh mantra, Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva vidvijanata tatra ko moha ko shoka ekatvam anupashyatah. One who has always sees all the living entities as spiritual park, in quality one with the Lord, becomes a true knower of the things. What then can be illusion or anxiety for him? Why? Because no illusion, no anxiety, no lamentation. Why? Because spiritual park is eternal. So why should lament for anything? That is the highest level. In Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter, also Krishna says in 3 verses, 29, 30, 31, that highest stage of the yoga, because 6th chapter is dealing with Ashtanga yoga. Sarvabhusastamatmanam sarvabhutani chatmani ichase yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshana. A true yogi observes me and all beings, also sees everything in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvancha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is ever lost to me. Sarva bhutastitam yo mam bhajatyeka tvamastitaha sarvatha vartamanopi sayogi mai vartate. Such a yogi who engages in the worshipful service of the Super Soul, knowing that I and the Super Soul are one, remains always in me in all circumstances. That is the highest level of the yogi, who see the presence of the Supreme Super Soul, Supreme Lord in each and every living entity. Without the presence of the Super Soul, no living entity can do anything. Presence of the soul makes the living entity alive, but is not capable of doing any activity. In the Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter, Krishna says, Upadrishtanumantacha. I am supervising all activities of the living entity. I am the permitter also. I give the permission for the living entity to speak, to act. Without permission, we can't do anything. Okay? Just like a paralyzed person, he wants to do, but he can't do anything. He's just alive for nothing. Is it? So the Super Soul makes the living entity capable of doing the activity. Without his presence, not. So Karna Maharshi also is reached to that highest level of the transcendence, and he was able to see, and ekatvam anupashyati. At that stage, he sees one with the Lord. It doesn't mean that, like Rishabdev Maharaj, it mentioned that he became one with the Lord. It doesn't mean that Lord he merged with the Lord, but qualitatively, we all know, living entity qualitatively one with the Lord. Quantitatively we are very minute. Supreme Lord is the infinite. So we know theoretically, but we don't see that one. But the pure devotee, he comes to the highest level, like Karna Maharshi, he sees that qualitatively one with the Supreme Lord. So qualitatively one with the Supreme Lord means the living entity completely freed of all the contaminations. In Lord Sri Krishna also in the 11th canto, while giving transcendental instructions to Uddhava for his final teachings, Lord Krishna says, Yata hema malam. Give the example, I'm unable to remember. Lord Krishna says that as the gold is melted in the fire, loses all its contamination and comes to the original position of the shining. If you got the gold ornament, always there is contamination, loses shining capability. When you give the goldsmith, he put in the fire, okay? Not direct fire, in the pot he will put it, and it is heated up, and it loses contaminations, gold will be there. Gold will not be there. For the gold to melt, you need a certain high temperature. For the contamination to get out, you need certain different temperature. So that give heat to the gold ornament in that temperature so that the contamination washed out. Okay, for that they use the sulfuric acid. Those who know the goldsmith, you can ask them. But in that process you lose some weight because sulfuric acid eats away the metal also. Easiest process they do it. So then the gold will come to the original shining. In the same way Lord Krishna says that by devotional service to me, it will purify the living entity, it will come to the original state of existence. So here also the yoga process also brings, and the devotional service also brings the same. So Karda Maharshi also, while in the yoga also in the trance he was meditating upon the Lord, he was serving the Lord, because he was given instructions by his son Kapila Maharshi, and Kapila Maharshi is the founder of the Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy is also devotional service. So yogis in the meditation they have to serve, then only they get the perfection. Without serving the lotus feet of the Lord, even in the trance, they will not get the perfection. And the Lord Brahma also said, Aruya kruchena param padam tatah padanti anadhrita ishmadangri. Param padam, even they got to the transcend the material universe, they might have got the Sahijya Mukti, but my dear Lord, I have seen them falling down. Why? They did all process, but they did not serve your lotus feet. Ushmadhangri. Angri means lotus feet. Because they did not serve your lotus feet, they fall down. Means the serving the lotus feet is the bhakti. So in the Bhagavatam you will see many places that the devotee in the trance he was doing the meditational service, devotional service. Means in the trance also mentally they are serving the lotus feet of the Lord. As physically we are serving the lotus feet of the Lord, giving the Arghya, Padya, then mantras, then after that you are offering the deities, then offering the bhog also. The mentally, the devotees also do, mentally they are decorating, offering, everything is done. So mentally they do all the devotional service, and that is the highest level. Okay. So many highly elevated devotees, they do it. So Karda Maharshi of that level, so to that highest level of devotional service, because of that he was able to see. So Prabhupada says that everyone is existing on the Supreme Personality Godhead does not mean that everyone is also Godhead. Okay. That should not, like it's a Mayavadi philosophy, everybody is the God. We have followed the Dvaita philosophy. God is God. Example Srila Prabhupada given is, son is son, father is father. Even father becomes president of the country. If the son becomes president of the country, what he has to? He never can, father never will say, my father. No. He will always remain son. Is it? In the same way, God is God, living entity, never can become God. He can be one with the Lord, but he cannot become the God. It is eternally separated. In the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the soul nature already explained to Arjuna. About what is the nature of the soul, what is the nature of the body. Nicely explained in the second chapter, from 13th to how many? 30. From 12 to 30, dealing with the nature of the soul. Okay, after that, different. From 54 to 72, the Sthita Prajna, the qualities and state of the pure devotee of the Lord, are the Atmadarshi, self-realized soul. Okay. So, Karda Maharshi, the self-realized soul, so Srila Prabhupada said that this is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Everything is resting on him because everything is the creation of the Supreme Lord. Everything is the expansion of the Supreme Lord. That's why in the Sanatana Dharma, Vedic Dharma, everything we worship them. Why? Because we see the presence of the Supreme Lord everywhere. There is nothing existing. Nothing will exist in this universe, moving and non-moving, without the energy of the Supreme Lord. That's why one of the names for Krishna is Vishnu. And I given a couple of times the example of the electronics. If those who study the physics, they know semiconductor theory. The atom is there. Atom is consisting of the proton in the nucleus, surrounded by the electrons. Okay. And electrons are always moving. Proton doesn't move, it is always steady. And around the electrons are moving. And everything combination of many atoms it is. And this table is there. It's a combination of thousands of atoms. And thousands of the electrons also there. But each atom is independent. Every atom is independent. But what is making all the atoms to be together? So, in the scientific language, we call it as a covalent bond. Scientists given that this atom is this electron, and this electron is holding through the energy called covalent bond. In the science, it's called. You can check in the physics, semiconductor theory. But in the transcendental subject matter, we call Vishnu energy. Annantarastha paramanu charantarastham Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. It is the Vishnu energy, Krishna's energy, which is holding everything together. If the Lord's energy is not there, the stone cannot remain as stone. Every atom separate. Then nothing can exist without the energy of the Supreme Lord. Okay. That's why Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, everything is holy on me. But it doesn't mean that everything is the Supreme Lord. The energy of the Supreme Lord, just like any constable is there, every government employee that represents the governor of the state, president of the country. No employee can do any activity without the sanctioning authority by the president of the country. You might have seen when the ministers take oath of allegiance, and before that the president gives a written order, that is, which is called warrant. It is president gives in the name of the Krishna Chaitanya. He gives hold the finance ministry. He signs, that is the warrant of authority. Okay, and if it is not there, you cannot do. Only because you are given the authority to hold that ministry, you do the certain work. Similarly, every government employee is given some authority to do that one, and he does that activity not on his own self, but on the authority of, on behalf of President of the country. No employee does anything on his own authority. Anytime the President of the country can withdraw the authority. He can say, police will not arrest the criminals. You go and kill in front of him, he can't arrest you, because he withdraw that authority to arrest you. So everything acting on the authority of... So that spreading, expanding the authority throughout the country, that is the Vishnu. It is energy of the authority spreading. In the same way, Supreme Lord Krishna, through his energy, is spreading throughout the universe. That is Vishnu Tattva. So the devotee understands that though Lord is there and through his energy everything is acting, but the living entity should not be taken as the Supreme Lord. The Srila Prabhupada given the three types of the devotees. Neophyte devotee, he just got the instruction, my spiritual master told me to do, I will do it. He got the faith but doesn't have any philosophical evidence or support for him. And Madhyamadhikari, intermediate Adhikari, he's got the full faith in the Supreme Lord, got the faith in the devotional service, and he knows the Shastric understanding also, scriptural understanding. He can differentiate who is the devotee, non-devotee. Because he got the capability of differentiating, he stays in the Madhyamadhikari. The highest level devotee, Uttamadhikari, he doesn't differentiate anyone. For him, everything is the highest level. So that highest level, they are called Uttamadhikari. Three type of devotees we have it. In the Bhagavatam 11th canto also Krishna explaining the same, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, while giving the transcendental instruction to Sanatana Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also he explains it. Type of type of devotees. But a person, we see that the Lord is sitting as Paramatma in everyone's heart, and that everything is depending on or existing on the transcendental energy of the Lord, is in the highest devotional service. We all know this, but we don't see it. Philosophically, we know it. Theoretically. When we come to see that one practically, then our life becomes perfect. And Karda Marshi has come to that level. We stop here. All right, time up. Any question? Srimad Bhagavad Puran ki jai, Jagat Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrindi ki jai. Tomorrow last Ariva Acharya. Thank you. Thanks for your kindness.